How'd you guys get down there? Huh, what is happening, guys? Hope everyone is doing well, staying safe. Originally, I wasn't actually planning on doing this series, so actually, you know what? Let me head out to the garage, get a few things out of my car, and then I can kind of discuss, my plans for this series and where things are heading with it. So, yeah, let's get going. Taking the Subaru out for the first time of the year. Maybe a little bit premature, but I always have such little patience. When the weather starts getting nice, I have troubles resisting myself. I don't know if anyone out there is familiar with these. I'll leave it there for now. These I'm going to discuss very shortly here, but first I just want to mention a couple things. So to kick things off, as you can see, I have insulated the garage. I'd have to double check the exact size of the space, but I think it's about a 20 or 21 foot by 20. I think it's about 20 by 21 or 21 by 22. Something around there. So a decent sized double car garage. Originally, being kind of our first home, I didn't have a lot of plans for this garage. The climate where we live, it can get pretty cold, and if I want to keep being able to create more content, I really want this space to be more usable. I want it to be warmer in here so I can actually come out here and work on my car. What I ended up doing actually this past winter, over a few months, I kind of just ended up insulating this whole garage on my own. That's a lie. I did get some help from my dad. But yeah, I really was hoping that by insulating the garage, it was going to make a huge difference, and trust me, it did. If you're debating right now on insulating your garage, I highly recommend it. Even if you don't plan on heating it, I think it makes a massive difference. It's probably on average throughout the winter months. Here it can get down to like -20, even -30 some weeks during the winter. And so pretty chilly, and on cold days like that, it's probably at least 10 degrees, even maybe 15 degrees warmer. Still not warm enough to really use the space all winter. It just, on the colder weeks, it's just way too cold to even come out here. A little bit later in this video, I will touch on some things that I will be doing or considering doing. But to start things off, I ended up using R20 in the walls and went with R40 in the ceiling. And then obviously you can see we vapor barriered everything and taped everything off. Looking much better, feeling a lot warmer. And before we actually ended up insulating, what we ended up doing is, as you can see on the ceiling, originally this garage only actually came with 2 lights. So there was one light here, and they're both just kind of crappy halogen bulbs, just like the one you see right there. Before we ended up insulating the whole ceiling, what we did is we actually wired in 2 additional lights. So you can see one light here, that was just purely for testing purposes, just to make sure everything worked. And then you can see right there, we have the other socket. That is what those guys right there are for. As you can see, I have already added in 2 of these lights, and they made a massive difference. I'm super impressed actually with how bright it is in here, and I figured that by adding a couple extra ones, it was gonna make an even bigger difference, especially for the back side of the garage. So if you guys haven't actually heard of these, Bell and Howell Tri-Burst LEDs, and what makes these awesome is the fact that it's just a simple socket, so you can just take out the halogen bulb and pop these ones in, and it's as simple as that. After I add the extra 2, I'm sure it is going to be super bright in here, which is exactly what I want. It's going to be way better for working in, and I'm excited to see the difference. I will be pulling out the car, and I'm going to add in those 2 extra bulbs, and we're gonna see just how big of a difference that lighting makes. fine?
Hey, you want the Audi in it?
No, I don't need the Audi in it. Ooh. I miss seeing this thing outside. Oh, gotta love spring. Lots of stuff to come for that. All right, let's get these lights in. Also, just on another note, if you are interested in picking these up, I will have the links for Amazon in the description below. I ended up picking these up actually just from Home Depot, but they're the exact same price on Amazon, and I'm pretty sure it's like free one-day delivery. Just after adding just 2 of them, they made such a big difference over just the halogen bulbs. And so I knew right away that I was gonna want to add 2 more and wire up a couple more sockets for them. And so I'm happy we did. But super, super cool lights. Like, really adjustable. Just socket design. And then what's nice about these is each wing or whatever, or light, all adjustable. So you can kind of maneuver them if you need certain light in other corners. Might get a little dark. I gotta turn the lights out. You ready for this? What a difference. Oh, I'm pumped. I'm pumped. Jesus. That's probably going to be the easiest installation of this whole project. I'm gonna turn the lights out before I blind myself. You ready for this? What a difference that makes. I could not recommend these things more, man. The price, I think these are like 39 bucks each. So for all 4, I spent like 160 bucks Canadian, by the way. So yeah, right now on Amazon Prime, it's like one-day delivery and they're like 39 bucks each. These things work amazing. Look how much of a difference that made. That's insane. Like, man, it's so much brighter in here. This is insane. Wow. It's like literally in the middle of the night, it's daytime in the garage. Doesn't matter if you want to detail your car or just do work on your car. What a difference. Like, go buy yourself some of these, man. Even if it's not for your garage, maybe it's somewhere in your house or just somewhere where you want a little bit more light. Definitely recommend them. All right, so, that is quite the difference, eh? Quite the difference. As far as what I have done to this garage so far, not a lot. And as far as, I guess, the difficulty of adding a few extra lights and a little bit of insulation, pretty straightforward. If you guys have any questions whatsoever in regards to any of that, just let me know in the comments below. I can either touch on it in future videos, or I can even just, if it's simple as answering a question, then I'll make sure to do that. Just those couple little things, and already has made quite the difference. A lot warmer in here, way better lighting. Two huge things, I'd say, when it comes to finishing a garage. But now just to kind of touch on the things that I have planned moving forward, I do have quite a bit that I want to get done. But to kick things off, I guess we'll start with, to add a little more natural light in here, I am going to end up adding a window. So on this wall, the wall that's, I guess, facing the backside of our house, that's gonna be purely just to get a little bit more natural light in, which will be nice. As well, it works great. If you have a detached garage like ourselves, you know, as far as, I guess, safety, security, if the garage door was ever open, we would have no idea. And so by having a window on this side of the house, it just ensures that if we're ever inside the house or in the backyard, you can see right through and you'd be able to tell whether or not your garage door is open. And then on this side, if I kind of twist you guys around, on this side, a lot of this shelving is gonna go. I don't want to keep any of it. It's just super temporary. We're going to be building a full workbench in here. I'm going to be adding shelving, racks. I basically want to try and get everything off of the floor. I want this area to be as clean and as organized as possible. Let me take you off the tripod for a sec. By the way, I'm super proud of my little power washing station. It is pretty clean, if I do say so myself. I posted a little car wash video actually late last year, a few months ago, so definitely go check that out if you haven't seen it. This wasn't here. I just was kind of had the power washer on the floor and just kind of plugged it in. This gives me more of kind of an organized setup, and I may even improve it more. But I kind of just went to Home Depot so I could hang all my power washing stuff, and it's a way cleaner setup. So now when I want to use this power washer, it takes me like all of a few seconds just to plug everything in, and I'm spraying in no time. But so this is kind of just the temporary shelving system for now. So window, shelving, workbench. Another thing that we did, originally we actually only had 2 power outlets in this entire garage, one on each side. So what we also did is we kind of just roughed in, we haven't actually connected everything, a handful more power outlets. I don't know if you can quite see them, but we've got about 5 or so running along this, 5 or 6 running along this wall. And that's going to be kind of where the workbench and everything goes. So that's just going to give us tons of flexibility. Obviously, now that we've insulated the entire garage, that's just a little leftover drywall from when we finished the basement. We will be finishing everything, so I'll likely end up drywalling everything. I may end up painting and floorboards and all the works, but we'll kind of see as we go. Now, I do want to touch on this. So this is a little electric heater that I installed over this past winter just in case I ever came out here and used the space. The heating situation, like I said, I really want to make this a usable space all year round. Summertime, it gets nice and warm here and that won't be an issue, but over our winter months, like obviously we have a decently long winter, and like I said, I want to be able to continue to work out here. I want to be able to work on my car, create videos, whatever it is. And so throughout the winter months when it's too cold, it's just a completely unusable space. And honestly, the electric heater does a decent job, but if you really want to use a space, I think we have to heat it with gas. And so what I'm thinking about doing is keeping an eye out for a good deal on a good little garage heater. We don't need a big one because it's obviously not a massive space. And what I'm going to do in this series, on top of everything that I've pointed out already, when we finish our basement, we actually plumbed a gas line out to the back of the house, just in case we ever wanted to heat it. This is happening a lot quicker than I ever anticipated. I didn't even think we would have heated this garage space being our first home. I just felt like it probably wouldn't have been worth it. But because I'm kind of making a video series out of it and I'm doing all this, I figured, why not? Let's have some fun. So we're gonna trench out a gas line through the backyard and running it out into the garage. So eventually when I buy a heater, we can obviously get that all set up. So if you have any interest whatsoever in the price and the cost, what it entails to set it up and to get everything working, this is a video series for you, man. So make sure you're subscribing. What else? There's definitely going to be a few more things along the way. But anyways, I think overall, I pretty much touched on everything that I wanted to say, at least in this video. I understand this video may be kind of rambly. I more or less just wanted to at least have a starting point and at least catch everybody up to where I'm at and what the future plans are. As far as the car, I'm still gonna be filming more stuff on that as well. I have a bunch of plans for the car, I have some exterior stuff coming up. I have like a few parts already sitting in my house, and so definitely expect some videos soon on that. So I want to start getting more consistent with this and posting more, and yeah, let's get going. I got to get my car put back in though, because yeah, I just do. We'll catch you guys in the next video. Take it easy. Yo, that's nuts. That's nuts. That's sick.